What is a space druid? How do we handle space druids in Neon Odyssey?
This is a tough one.
That's the other tough one.
This is definitely one of the toughest ones, along with the Enforcer. That's a good question. We knew that we couldn't just do a druid, right? Druids are so intrinsically tied to these sort of like Celtic folklore and just being around the wilderness that we knew that we had to push this in a new direction. And we decided on the Primalist. And this is a character that has an intense connection to the primal aspects of the galaxy. That doesn't have to necessarily mean animals, right? This could mean the energy and elements of a world or the biology of alien creatures and beyond. So we have a couple different themes going on in the subclasses. The first one is the World Speaker. This is probably your druidiest Primalist subclass. This is your Elementalist. They are communing with the elements of the planet, and they can kind of channel depending on the planet they're attuned to, or even the planet that they are currently on. They can kind of pull power from the world and then fling it at their enemies. So, for example, if they're on a desert world or a hot, arid, rocky world, they might be able to deal fire damage, or maybe some bludgeoning damage by flinging some rocks. Or if they're on an icy planet, like Hoth in Star Wars, they can maybe send a frigid, frosty wind at their enemies and freeze them. The second Primalist subclass, and this is my personal favorite, this is the Splicer. We knew that we wanted to offer a very different subclass in the core book of the Outrunner's Handbook, and that was the Splicer. This is a tech-focused subclass where usually you are a scientist and you are researching the alien DNA and using that discovery and your connection to alien biology to enhance your own biology. You are able to then change your own shape to maybe take on some of this alien biology. Maybe you grow a reptile claw or a bird wings or a insect bite. You don't necessarily have to be a scientist or tech flavored. You can flavor this as you just like aliens, but we wanted to really give you that sort of on the nose, you're the lizard from Spider-Man, and you just turn into a lizard.
Or the chimeras from that great episode of Batman Beyond.
Oh, that was a good one.
That's a good one.
What a classic.
That really is. And then we have a bit of a weird one. This is the hive mind. This is our second cacophony subclass of where you are a primalist that is exploring the corruptive power of cacophony, but on the natural world, on life itself, as you are calling forth swarms of cacophonous beings. And once again, you get to choose your tone. So if you want to have a swarm of fiendish bugs that descend upon and devour your enemies, you can. Or if you want to have those be balloon animals or flying nanomachines, you can do that. And it's really about having this corruptive, devouring swarm that is tied to the fiendish power of cacophony. And then I think this real star child that's been very popular behind the scenes, and I mean just the art is unbelievable, is the xenotrainer. This is where you must gather them all. As you go out into the wild and find elemental creatures, you collect them, you train them to become the very best.
That ever was.
That ever was.
That's right.
You're striving to be the best that ever was. And you are able to choose between 3 of these creatures. You can choose which element or which suite of features is going to be the best for the fight or for the encounter at hand. And we're trying to encourage you so you don't just pick one. If you want to have your best buddy, you can. But we wanted to have that fantasy of you're collecting creatures and you're sending them out and swapping between them to have the most thrilling collectible battles.
And as you level up, they level up as well.
And they might change as they level up.
Become enhanced.
They become enhanced and change and develop.
So our version of Wild Shape is kind of a nested feature, where we're giving them something that's a little more akin to Channel Divinity. So they have a primal channel ability, which they can use both to either summon a familiar, if they want to have a little like manifested outside of themselves companion, or they can take on a primal shape, where they can shape themselves into some sort of alien creature. The approach we're taking with this is not that you're going to go loot the bestiary for a stat block. We are offering you your primal shape stat blocks that you can shape into, and there will be sort of 3 different foundational templates that you can shape into, and then you will get a choice of primal aspects that you can add to the stat block.
Perfect.
And many of these will be level gated. So as you go up in level, you will unlock more powerful, more interesting, more better traversal type abilities, more resilient abilities that you can add to these forms.
And actually, that's kind of my preference, rather than having to loot a monstrous compendium of some
Yeah.
kind. That's a lot of work to put on players.
Yeah. And it's definitely much more new player friendly.
Yeah.
We don't say, hey, you have to have the monster manual, or we have to bake this giant, this cut down bestiary section that has just a bunch of beasts in it for you to be able to go look at the back of the player's book. And then we're putting all of that on you to sort of figure out which is good. I would like to be able to give people a more curated set of options, but that they can also customize.
So what are some of the subclasses looking at this?
Yeah, so our sort of core 2 subclasses, we start with the world speaker. So we've talked about the concept of world souls, where every habitable planet has a world soul, this spiritual, primordial presence that's kind of like a fragment of the explosion of life when it first created into the galaxy, and it is embedded into these planets. And that is what makes a planet capable of sustaining
player life.
Yeah, player life and similar things. Yes, breathable atmospheres, livable climate, all that good stuff, and things that where everything isn't poisoning you every second. That kind of fun stuff. Yeah, the world has to have a world soul to be that. So the world speaker is a primalist that taps into that connection with the world souls, and they can commune with them.
How do your powers manifest if you are like bonded to a world, whether you're on that world or you're on another world, but you have this connection to this other planet?
Yeah, so there's a lot of fun ways we can play with this, where we can let you draw upon the nature of the world to get resilience. So if you're on, say, an icy planet and you forge your connection with the world soul of this frozen planet, now the cold isn't really a detriment to you. You can get resistance to cold damage. Maybe you can get the ability to move through snowy terrain without it slowing you down as much or at all. It'll shape the spells that you're able to choose outside of the normal primalist list.
As that power, as that connection with a planet grows, how powerful do you get? I'm very interested in anyone who has a planet on your side in some weird way.
Imagine being bonded to, say, a desert or jungle planet, and being able to spend some of your essence to be able to manifest that heat or a sandstorm around you, something along those lines, or a blizzard, messing with the conditions around you.
So you become the environment.
You become sort of an extension and embodiment of that world soul. You can take some of its aspects and then project them into the world around you.
And the next one?
Yeah, so the other one in the Outrunner's Handbook is the splicer. So the splicer is
this is going to get creepy.
Sort of our answer to the moon druid.
Yeah.
Now you might think, oh, you turn into bigger, badder. No, you just grab aspects of them and then graft them onto yourself.
This is your build a monster, but I am the monster.
Correct.
Subclass.
Yeah, it might be less I'm turning into a gelatinous cube to I can...
fire-breathing gelatinous cube.
I can melt part of my body into red-hot caustic ooze.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that. Oof, that is evocative and super creepy. And you can flavor that a billion ways.
Yep, and that is one of the things we're trying to do as much as possible here, is give you not only just awesome tools in a package out of the box, but the framework for you to say, this is great, I want to play this, but I want to call it that. And you should be able to just run with it.
That is an unlimited imagination, flavor at your will kind of subclass, which I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then we have Overdrive. We got 2 more.
So getting away from our foundational 2 subclasses, we get into the hive mind. They are the primalists that tap into cacophony, which is the corruption of harmony. And it is sort of flavored into 4 different tones of discord. And you will be able to pick which of those tones you kind of connect with and manifest, and you will create a swarm of tiny little fiendish things resonated with that tone.
And these swarms, I imagine, get more and more powerful.
Oh yeah,
as you
yeah.
level up.
You'll get to go up in levels and add all kinds of extras on there. Maybe you can send the swarm away from yourself, so it no longer just centers around you. Maybe you can break it into multiple swarms and move it around and create all sorts of fun battlefield control.
StarCraft 2 fans are super happy right now because they got a carrying class. Queen of Blades.
Yeah.
Zerg for life.
That is a valid expression of instinct. Yes.
Suck it, Protoss.
Our last offering for the Primalist, sort of completing our quadfecta, is the xenotrainer. So if you wanted to have a little alien buddy that you train
catch a bunch of them
and infuse with your magic, and maybe they attain a more advanced form as you gain levels.
Yep.
And you can, there will be different sort of varieties of them, and you'll be able to pick which one you want to have active at a time. And so if you have
like
something that
dream come true for pet classes.
Poison or acid would be your thing, so you can pick this version and send it out, and it'll be your little buddy and do what you need to do. Or hey, you need to burn something down. Well, you might have a fire or magma or like comet coded little alien buddy that you've been training, and you can bring that one out instead.
And they get nastier and nastier.
And they get nastier and nastier and bigger and more impressive as you gain levels.